What's up, ladies? How you doing today? Did you guys, by the way, know that every single time I make an introduction and I call either only the ladies out or only the guys out, that immediately there's going to be a comment that says like, Khaldor, that's not politically correct. You need to address the female or the male audience as well, or you might be annoying somebody. Oh my god, I'm not running for president here. I'm running a YouTube channel. Chill, guys and girls. Okay, so that being said, and enough fun with that, we have a great game today. I already promised you in the last few videos that we're going to have Gamers 2 versus Virtus Pro, and guess what that day is today? It's a great series, an awesome best of 3. And well, the new meta has of course already hit. You saw a couple of the games. It's pretty fun to see Tyrande being played a lot. Sonya's back in the meta. We have the Lost Vikings every now and then on Infernal Shrines as well. And all in all, I have to say, I like it quite a bit. Like, it's really nice to see a bit more diversity when it comes to the heroes, or at least a few more strategies that can be played. And today, you are in for a treat, because not only is it a great best of 3 series, but also we have some very interesting compositions that also lean towards the new meta. And what personally interested me the most was game number 2. I'm not going to spoil anything, but, well, actually I am. Game number 2 is awesome because guess who's back? No, it's not Eminem, it's not Sonya. Sonya was already back a little bit before, we knew that. It's Diablo. Hell yeah, he's back, the Lord of Terror. But then again, we all know that Virtus Pro really likes to somehow play or sometimes play some really like weird compositions. And, well, they kind of fail a lot with those too. Every now and then they surprise an opponent and completely like stomp them into the ground, but oftentimes it just backfires. And, well, we have Diablo back. The question, of course, is can he actually win, or will the Lord of Terror once again be tamed within seconds? That's game number 2, though, and I already promised you a great series, so you're in for a treat here. It's not only the second game that's pretty awesome, the rest of the series is pretty wicked as well, so make sure that you check all of the games out. And yeah, let's start right away with first map. We have game number 1 on Infernal Shrines between Gamers 2 and Virtus Pro. To the left side of the map, it's the Polish team with Sylvanas played by Nika. We have Shihu on Johanna, Yuvo and Tacita, Leo from Korea playing Karazim in the support role, and we have Bashek on Kelthas. To the right side of the map, it's our Russian team with Sevkaja on Vala, Unstable on Uther, Anilendi on Jaina, Gela playing Muradin, and BKB jumping onto Leoric here. A lot of wave clear for both of the teams. Very solid positions actually for both of them when it comes to the fights for the objectives. But this is definitely going to be a fun game. Like when it comes to the lineups, both of them have a lot of AoE, also a bit of single target focus when we're looking at especially Virtus Pro with that stun combo, Uther, Muradin having the burst damage thanks to a hero like Jaina. So yeah, this should be a pretty nice game, and it's probably going to be a bit closer than the last semifinal that we've seen here at the tournament.
And to start off, both teams going for this 5-man minion block, and what that results in is the minions meeting almost in the dead center again. Now both teams going to try and clear it very quickly. Looks like here the Virtus Pro do come out that little bit better in clearing the waves. No, it is actually Gamers 2 who do win that out. Virtus Pro starting off a bit quicker, but Gamers 2 winning out in the end.
We have already seen a slight adjustment when it comes to the talents. First of all, we have on Vala, as expected, the multi-shot build, since you want to have that AoE that shines when the fights over the objective happens. Not only because you can dish out more damage against your opponent, who is probably going to be clustered up quite a bit, but also because you will at the same time take down a lot of these minions that you try to, of course, collect. We have on Sylvanas no barbed shot, but instead it is now with the wind as the talent. Barbed shot can be pretty strong because it also helps you to take down these minions, which is pretty cool when the objective happens. But in this case, it's the extra range that we're seeing on Sylvanas, which will allow her to position herself a bit farther in the back.
Yeah, allows her to harass much better, in the same way that Vala is able to do the same with the composite arrows. They'll be able to stand a bit on the outside of that typical area and avoid the huge AoE damage that could come in from heroes like the Jaina, like the Kael'thas, if they were to stand in the middle of the shrine area.
Another interesting fact, by the way, is that Gamers 2 is the only team out of the 6 teams that did not qualify for BlizzCon at the European Finals in Prague, that did not change players. Every other team out of those 6 has changed at least one player. Gamers 2, the only one without any roster changes. They lose Johanna here at that early fight, where we have the objective already up, so a heavy commitment at the bot lane with 3 heroes, but now Virtus Pro can move to the top. They changed out Kuni-chan, he left the team, and now Gela is currently playing with the Russian team here. Nika and the rest of the Polish roster already in the mid lane here. And of course, we're also going to see Johanna back to business in just a second to help out.
Yeah, everyone's beginning to group up. Johanna just arriving in time, and now we finally have all 5 members from both teams. A very big advantage for Gamers too to start with in these demons. Uber moving back, drops the healing ward here, giving his team a bit of more sustain. As such, Johanna goes very hard in here. Sevka having to vault out of there, and she's taking a lot of damage. And down goes the Karazim here, getting caught out, and that's going to be a huge problem.
Oh, BKB keeping himself alive. Oh my god, he's still living. Johanna is down, and BKB, he dies. But so does Tassadar now. Wow, the slaughter. Kel'Thas down, Tassadar on, everybody dying. It is still the blue team that secures the Punisher. So we have a look at that XP. We have such a huge change of 5 kills against 1. When it comes to the kill count, Virtus.pro absolutely dominating this battle. But the minion fight, the objective fight, that was won by Gamers 2, and now they have to use that Punisher to make up for that experience disadvantage. And I'm not quite sure if they can really accomplish that.
They have managed to split up a bit more efficiently than we do see Virtus.pro doing so. BKB moving on to Bashek here, but with Leo from Korea, Bashek will be able to back up pretty quickly. Punisher goes down very fast as well, but Gamers 2 were able to move up to the top lane and the bottom lane a lot quicker than Virtus.pro were, so they're able to get to that level 6, but like you said, Virtus.pro still holding on to that lead.
That was really well done, and that was one of the cool things when you're looking at these fights on the objectives. You can either go for your opponent's heroes and try to focus them down, or you can try to just like get these minions. Ideally, of course, with a lot of AoE, you will try to do both at the same time, but right now we have Virtus.pro with a much bigger focus on the actual team fight than the minions there. They hit level 7 a bit faster, and once again we see the wave of light for Uther already taken here. Another fight over there in the mid lane where Bashik just barely escapes. Yeah, so pretty good style here in the game. I really like it. 6 kills, only 4 minutes in. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's going. It's very interesting for both teams here. Yeah, moving down to that bottom lane. Shehu and Leo from Korea are already here to try and interrupt, but they can't really fight. It's going to be 2 tanks slapping each other. Very little will actually happen.
One of the things that I also want to highlight is that we don't have any Conjurer's Pursuit on the side of Jaina. Jaina actually went for a build that doesn't give her any mana back. Deep Chill into Snowstorm, into Frostbitten. Oftentimes when Conjurer's Pursuit was not the level 1 talent, you will see Arcane Intellect on 4. We don't have that here, so it's a full damage utility build that we are seeing for her, and that will mean that at some point Andy Landy has to be careful with his mana management, but it still gives him a lot more power. We also have now with the level 7 talents coming to play for the Polish team, Gamers 2 going straight into Conviction, so a full Condemn build that Johanna has executed.
Yeah, Jaina does have the option of going into Icy Veins on that level 13, but it would be at the replacement of that advanced Ice Block, which is such good protection. There isn't a huge amount of dive potential, though, on the side of Gamers 2 to really go in and kill her, but it could be used against the Wailing Arrow or Chain Bomb, something like that.
Icy Veins still very, very strong. That late in the game, of course, your mana pool, your mana management is a bit easier. In the beginning, though, we have Andalendi now definitely in a situation where he has to be very careful how much he spams his spells, especially if he wants to catch these tributes or these objectives at the top. BKB already securing a few. Johanna running into a bit of a problem there and dying. Very unfortunate for Gamers 2. Up at the top, they're trying to secure a few of the minions, and they indeed do. But now we have Virtus.pro moving in with a 5 versus 4 scenario. They go straight for Tassadar. Juve! Oh, escapes the healing ward in perfect positioning, and also the shields helping him out.
Yeah, and that does mean he stays alive, so only 1 kill out of this entire Shrine attempt here for Virtus.pro, but they do now have control of the area and have taken a slight demon lead. Gamers 2 reacting very nicely here, just going to split up into the mid lane and the bottom lane and get as hard of a push out of it as they can. Mid lane, a lot of focus here, and with Sylvanas, they won't be able to get a 4 here due to everyone roaming down from Virtus.pro, but able to get both towers, and very nearly will the minions get the fountain before Sevka? Yeah, able to grab the fountain.
Great decision here on the side of Gamers 2. That was really well played, because they realized that level 10 would hit any second if Virtus.pro forces a few minions down. So they decided that they wouldn't want to risk it and instead move into the mid lane, take a few structures, try to do the same thing down at the bot lane. Nika already jumping away with a Haunting Wave. At the same time, the Sun against Shihu. Shihu in trouble, and Johanna dies once again. Currently the punching bag in the game, the only tank for Team Gamers 2, and Virtus.pro is just completely exploiting that. At the top lane, the Punisher is pushing. Finally, we have level 10 ready for the Polish team now as well, but the top lane is being pushed heavily, and Bashik just barely escaping.
Yeah, Punisher punishing Bashik for being quite far forward there, but a 7-sided strike just annihilates BKB straight away here. He's just going to be ghosted around this area. making sure that he can see everything that goes on after the Punisher does fall. The rest of his team, we're going to be pushing quite hard in this mid lane. Tassadar and the Johanna are here to defend, but Johanna played quite far back. I think she's beginning to learn that this is dangerous to hang around.
This is pretty dangerous territory, and especially with Divine Palm not being used, but instead Seven-Sided Strike adding additional damage to the team's lineup. We now have, of course, no panic button anymore that Charism can use to keep someone like Johanna alive. She herself is, of course, extremely tanky, but still, if you're the solo tank for your team, you need to be careful. There is Tassadar, though, with a shield and Charism as well, so that should be enough sustain for the team here. We have still a level lead for Virtus.pro, and with 7 kills against 2, they have a very good standing now in this match.
Yeah, and that was actually their... was that the first Punisher they were able to get? I think it was. Gamers2 grabbed the others despite losing some of the fights there.
It was only the second Punisher, so for now it's actually an even trade between the two.
Yeah, so it's going to be quite interesting here. We do see BKB moving back up to this top lane, begin soaking away at Bruiser Camp being taken by Gela and Andy Lendy. Bot lane, pretty much abandoned right now, but we're finally seeing Sevka moving down here, just going to get a bit of a counter push on that.
Up to the top lane, Nika going up against BKB. Experience soaking is now important for the two teams still. Level 13 is the next milestone, especially for Virtus.pro, who are a lot closer to the 10x talent as Gamers2. So right now it's Mercenaries on the map that you're trying to get. You are trying to get a bit of experience. There's a level 13 talent that we've been talking about. And that actually adds a lot to Virtus.pro now. Not only Frostshot, which synergizes so well with the first two talents that we are seeing on a multi-shot Vala, but also the Shrink Ray, which helps you control these fights a lot more. We are seeing, in addition, a bit survivability for Jaina using that ice block now. And that really is going to help with that next shrine that is activating right now. It's a great advantage that Virtus.pro has, and they should be able to secure this Punisher.
Yeah, moving in with 4. Vala will be moving up in a second right now, just staying down in bot lane, clearing up the mini wave quick as she can. Gamers2 moving in to attempt a contest, though. They have all 5 members here. Sevka going to be a little bit late to get up here. Gamers2 need to make a move while Sevka's still moving, but they've left it too late, and now it's going to be a 5 versus 5 if they choose to contest.
Finally, level 13 versus 13. That's the chance for Gamers2 to join the fight here at the objective. They have their talents now, and they're grabbing them and moving in immediately. BKB already in the move with the Wraith Walk. We have in the back line the Ring of Frost hitting, and look at Tassadar just barely surviving here. Shirku is rushing away once again, using that Iron Scan. You with the wall in the back line. We already have him with a healing ward, trying to keep everybody alive, but the Punisher for the red team is coming in, and the kill against Vala in the last second, but counter-killed by Charism.
BKB pushing in here, trying to finish off Yuva, but Forceful gonna trap him in here, but there's no follow-up damage instead. Gela diving in there with very little health, looking to try and get Tassadar, but Tassadar with Dimensional Shift does escape. Like you said, that's the Punisher, a 1-for-1 trade in kills, and Virtus.pro still keeping that 1 level advantage.
Yeah, Gela getting a bit greedy there at the start. She did a pretty decent job there. Jumps in again and hits that Storm Ball, but she just barely does not manage to hit it, and that could have meant another kill. But in this case, both move away. 13 versus 14 now in experience. Punisher still not able to take down the fort in the mid lane. There is still that slight lead in experience that we have for Virtus.pro. It's 8 kills versus 3, but that advantage that we're seeing for the Russian team is actually shrinking.
Yeah.
Gamers2 is doing pretty well, even though they lost that last objective.
Yeah, like I was talking about before the fight, Gamers2 had a very short amount of time to attempt to engage before Vala came up, but like you pointed out, they did have a talent disadvantage, so they were waiting it out, and that just gave Sevka the perfect time to get more XP for his team and then move up to help just in time for the level 13s to hit for the full 5-on-5 fight. So perfect timing there by Virtus.pro.
BKB with the skeleton swings at the top lane, eliminating that Bruiser camp, at least trying to. At the bot lane, on the other hand, we are seeing Shiko and the rest of the team once again rushing away. That Storm Ball hitting too. We had Iron Skin used on Shiko, so he dodges it, but Nika eats the full force of the stun. No follow-up though. There was nothing that they could really do in this scenario. But both of the teams that force wall, the panic force wall, I mean, it's a 12-second cooldown, doesn't really matter too much. Yeah. 15 versus 15, and of course, we are going to see that 16 talent going to play a huge role.
We've spoken about it before. Force Wall, one of the lowest cooldown spells, heroic spells in the game. It's so effective, like Napalm, we think it's a bit of cooldown. I think Possession, the recharge on it might. But it's so effective. Juve just using it here just because he can. It blocks them from diving him. Unfortunately, he cannot use it to protect this fort, and that will be another fort going over to Virtus.pro.
Ghastly Reach and Renewed Swing now on 16 with good synergy to give even more wave clear to Leoric when it comes to those objectives, and we have another Shrine activating in a few seconds. Again also, give him the Executioner talent variation on Muradin, and with all that slow that we have two talents like Skeleton Swing on the side of Virtus Pro and of course Jaina herself, that is a talent that gives you a lot more damage in these fights, and Gamers2 is once again trying to get that talent just in time so that they can contest the objective.
Yeah, Valor in there as well with that frost shots, just everything, just adding a slow here. And as such, Gamers2 only now just starting to group up. They're going to try and move in, but we're just going to watch to see how much damage Muradin can actually do here. An extra 75%. He could be having to back away though after getting caught by that Force Wall.
Yeah, already the fight raging. Here comes the Blessed Shield. Night Initiation. Immediately the Divine Shield use. Anilene is extremely low, but uses that last second Ice Block. Well done. BKB is already down, but we have a double kill against Gamers2 with Johanna and Sylvanas dead. Now the Polish team is trying to rush away, and still Virtus Pro with 21 minions in a great position here. And keep in mind that Leoric is going to be back in just a flash. But look at that Force Wall! Wow!
What a move there. Force Wall into Flame Strike, just annihilating Muradin there. And now Virtus Pro trying to get the most out of this. BKB is about to come back to life though, so he's already in the back there. Unstable, very low. Andy Lenny low at the top. Leoric comes back, gets double swing onto Leo from Korea. Force Wall trapping Unstable, but there's no one for the damage. Just gets out of the Flame Strike, and the Punisher goes over to Virtus Pro.
Wow, Juve keeping himself alive here. Got a bit of assistance of Charism as well, and that looked really close. 10 kills against 5. The Punisher jumping in. Of course, Virtus Pro was able to take it. We have in the mid lane Sylvanas trying to de-push that camp that was taken a bit earlier by Virtus Pro. 16 versus 17 now. Camp defended. Punisher going through the fort at the bot lane with the help of the Russian team, and now Virtus Pro starting to rotate up to the mid lane once again. The Punisher just left alone versus and jumping in, of course, to damage this wall.
Having a look at some of the talents we see on 16. Blessed Hammer once again coming in for the Johannes with that extra damage. Tassadar with the second strike, not the slow storm as we did see yesterday. I had to double check just in case, because last time we had a look, thought it was the double strike, and were wrong.
Yeah, but we have static shield, static charge actually on level 7, so it makes, of course, perfect sense to go into the second strike right now, since you get a lot more out of this in this case now. So that is perfectly fine. We have the Soothing Breeze on the other hand when we're looking at the level 16 talent.
Favorite talent choice in this game, considering what they're up against.
Yeah, for Charism, so right now that helps them a lot, especially, of course, given that we have this many slows on the side of Virtus Pro and also stuns. So no Circle of Life for the extra healing, but it's a great choice that we're seeing on Charism. It just shows once again how you have to be able to adapt to your opponent's builds.
Indeed, very, very cool. Virtus Pro going to attempt to get some tower damage down in this top lane. They have 2 sets of Shamans in this top lane as well, but they are arriving a little late. Both towers do go down, and Virtus Pro, or at least BKB, keeping a bit of pressure on. Of course, he is Leoric. He can leave this basically anytime he wants, even through a Force Wall. He can just Wraith Walk away.
Interestingly enough, you were with Mecha Tassadar skin decided to go for the doubloon as a mount, which I just now picked up on, and did not go for the plane. It's
That's
actually
what
a
the
bit
skin
surprising.
is for, so you can be a jet. That's why it's so cool. Other than the voiceover, the voiceover is awesome.
It works extremely well, to be honest. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, it's very cool. I agree, but it's still very frustrating.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty awesome. Definitely not what I expected, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. So Camp's taken on the map again, another Shrine active, and now this is really where Virtus Pro is going to try and run with the advantage that they have. The entire game that they've built up so far led to this particular position where they will hit level 20 faster. And look at Gamers2. They're saying, as long as you don't have 20, we can fight. Let's go in and drop those structures, gain a bit more experience before they get that oh-so-crucial Storm talent, because Virtus Pro is going to move to the top lane to grab another Punisher, and that's going to threaten that keep at the top lane of Gamers2 severely.
Yeah, Gamers2 backing away from Virtus Pro very, very fast right now. Tassadar in the bot lane, just trying to get his team some split XP so that they can hit their level 20s as well and begin fighting anew. But right now, Virtus Pro playing very aggressive. Nika getting engaged upon. Where's the stun? There's the Haunting Wave, but multi-shot to get the slow, and Nika has no chance. Just gets focused down and picked off.
There's the level 22, but Vala gets shielded. Here comes the turnaround. Gamers2 is going for it, but Unstable and Undulated to get away. Gala is getting a bit low on Muradin, but should be able to jump away.
From behind.
Low, you were from the side with a double storm once again. Gala is still alive, though. We have BKB in the middle of things here. He actually went really deep to help his team out. The force wall already used. They took only a few of these minions, and Gamers too, despite the fact that they don't have level 20, are trying to escape the march of the Black King being used. BKB with the Wraith War gets away, Unstable with the Wave of Flight, keeping him alive here, and Sefkaja using his slow on the multi-shot to make sure that Gamers 2 cannot force this in.
Gamers 2 have literally just hit their level 20s, though. We have the increased range on the force wall, the extra hits on the 7-sided strike, but the 7-sided strike is on cooldown for 1 more second. It is now ready to be used again, but they need to escape here. There's 7-sided strike being used just for the extra damage here. Johanna doing best he can. Leo diving out, as it did make him immune as well. 7-sided strike
is still a 4 versus 5, and therefore Gamers 2, they have to retreat. The last battle, it actually happened with them being down 1 hero the entire time, but now it's 20 versus 20. It's a 5 versus 5 as Sylvanas is back with the team. We have Talsada dropping force wall after force wall. Muradin, by the way, didn't care at all. He just jumped that thing and did not care a bit. Now we have that fight raging, and with already 28 minions taken by Virtus Pro, the Russian team here going for that Punisher. It's a fight on even levels. Ring of Frost in the backline. BKB moving in with the Skeleton Swing, trying to slow them down. Shiku and everybody else is starting to focus on Leoric on the other hand, and at the front line we have Muradin also joining the battle. But look at Sefkaja eating the bomb, nearly exploding. They're just barely surviving. Unstable is trying to keep it alive, but Leoric is already down, and the rest of the team is going straight for those minions again.
They need free. Nice icebox from Lane Skella trying to grab the last of the minions. They get the Punisher, and Gamers 2 able to take down quite a few of them here. So that is a trade of a lot of heroes for 1 Punisher, but it allows Virtus Pro, at least Sevka and Unstable, to get out of there and regroup.
Gamers 2 all of a sudden turning the switch here. Really well played. The entire time they struggle in the team fights. Then with 19 to 20, they are able to win a battle, force Virtus Pro back, even though they were down a player, because Virtus Pro went a bit deep to get that kill against Sylvanas. And now, despite the fact that the Punisher is pushing the top lane with 2 heroes dead for Virtus Pro, Gamers 2 is just moving into the mid lane. They drop the keep, they go for a core. There's another 30 seconds until we're going to see Jaina and Muradin back. And Gamers 2 is trying to end the game.
Force wall coming down to stop Unstable pushing in. March the Black King only hits a couple shots. Core is starting to drop. Yuva dropping low, but he's already dropped that healing ward to help his team. Dimensional shifts to get himself in reposition. Core on 50%. It's going down too quick. Still 10 seconds left on the other heroes. And that's going to be GG. And Gamers 2
wow,
take the first game.
They take the first game, and what a comeback here. Great play. Gamers 2 with the lead in the best of 3 series. All right, everybody, the game is on. The second game in the best of 3 series between Gamers 2 and Virtus Pro here at the WCA Europe Qualifier. And we have an amazing composition. I'm absolutely loving it. We've seen it yesterday and we see it today again for Virtus Pro. But let's first introduce the players to the left side of the map. Gamers 2 with Nika on Sylvanas. We have Bashek on Kelthas, Yuvan Muradin, Shiku on Sonya, and Leo from Korea playing Brightwing. The right side of the map, it is the Diablo composition. Sefkaja on Jaina, Unstable on Tyrande. We see BKB on Diablo, Andilendi on Tassadar, and Gala on Tyrael. So they're playing without, so to say, a dedicated healer. Of course, Tyrande got buffed a lot when it comes to her, like the sustain that she offers the team with Shadowstalk as well, but the main reason why we are seeing her here is of course that stun that she can apply once the Diablo started his own stun comp. So the burst damage on Jaina is going to be crucial. Tyrande is not the only one to keep the team alive. We have Tassadar to help out with that too. And let's not forget that Tyrael can supply his shields as well, but this game is going to be a treat.
Nice idea there from Tassadar, dropping his shield on himself to tank a tower shot and then moving forward to storm the grouped up minion wave. As due to the fact he didn't see it, he knew there was some body block shenanigans going on. However, was a little bit too early, only got 1 tick of that Psy Storm off, but still, pretty cool concept.
We have with the win taken on Sylvanas, no barbed shot, which is a talent that is definitely viable on this map here in particular, but the extra range on the shots are quite important. Now we have, of course, Diablo, Tyrande already roaming the map down to the bot lane. Here comes the stun combo and the kill against Shiku. Great first kill on the side of Virtus Pro. It's that danger that you have, old school style with Diablo, Tyrande, and then you have, of course, Jaina, which always served the purpose of just getting so much burst damage in thanks to that Blizzard.
Yeah, this incredible combo that's been around for so long, it never stopped working. It is just a situation of Diablo becoming a little bit weaker than some of the other warriors, but Virtus Pro were like, yeah, this still works. We're in on this, and just get huge amounts of damage out of it.
The cool thing is that we once again have that seasoned marksman built on the side of Toronto. We've been talking a lot about Virtus.pro being one of the teams that heavily rely on this start. Again, the attempt to take Sonya down, stun into stun, and the damage. Sonya dead, and kill number 2 for Virtus.pro. Great play here by them, and of course also Unstable getting those seasoned marksman stacks. Normally, Virtus.pro, one of the few teams that still played with the same arrow. Look at Muradin here jumping away and barely keeping himself alive.
Yeah, able to use that Dwarf Toss to get out of there after only getting hit by one wave of Blizzard. Able to escape, and his trait will now heal up quite a lot of that lost health he just got. But the combo's moving up to the top lane. Brightwing with 0 chance of escape here just gets annihilated. And the best part is they could just, especially in the Tastar lane, they can just dive towers with this due to the fact that Taronda can heal the Diablo. And the Tastar lane, Tastar can shield the Diablo. He can just dive any tower he wants.
They are playing this extremely well, and it's something that they showcased yesterday already against a weaker opponent, but it still showed already a lot of promise, and today they are willing to risk it with such an aggressive composition against Gamers2 being 1 game down in this series. They have control over the map now. It's level 4 versus level 5. Level 4 talents for both of the teams ready. There is the Searing Arrows. It has been a talent, or it is a talent, it has been buffed in the last patch. Now 50% extra damage on those basic attacks, and everything is working out quite well for Virtus.pro, at least up to this point. But Gamers2, they haven't given up this just yet, and they shouldn't. They have a very solid setup here now too. If they can survive and get even on the level 10 abilities, then with a good silence, they're always able to turn at the team fight.
And we see the gank on the bot lane again. This time, not able to land the combo, but Yuva still taking a lot of damage. Blizzard catches him over the wall, but we're going to see Sonya able to pick up the gems here. But look at the positioning from the heroes of Gamers2 here. Nika, he's just not even coming out. He's just like, no, I do not want this. If I they could dive beyond the tower. I am in danger wherever I am. I need to know where they are before I can farm and just wait for the minions to come to me.
Yeah, we have at this point 4 kills against 0. This early game is going perfectly for Team Virtus.pro. And well, we have now in regards to the talents also the Fire Devil taken on level 4 for Diablo himself, with a Snowstorm on Jaina being utilized. Tacita went for the extra vision thanks to the mental acuity, but Andilendi has to be careful. He has his Bashik is starting to move in now too, but a bit of help from Sefkaja is helping out quite a bit.
In comes BKB. They find Kael'thas, who was going for the chase. He gets picked off. However, they do lose the Jaina here, who was a bit caught out by Yuva. Now Andilendi is a little bit low. Yuva failing the jump though, gets tackled into the wall, pushed over, and gets picked off. Fail of a jump, unfortunately, means a dead dwarf.
Yeah, and Gamers2, they moved away because they realized that level 7 was about to hit for Virtus.pro, but it was just a bit too late. Now the Red Web Weavers are descending since the Russian team turns in first. Very well done here. Gela actually dropping out of the game at this point with a bit of a problem, a disconnect here on the side of Virtus.pro, but so far things have been going really well for them. We have the level 7 talents now also in game, so we can talk about those real quickly. We have for 2 heroes battle momentum already chosen. It's Diablo and Tyrael, the 2 frontliners that go for the talent here. We have static charge taken for Tacita, who on level 1 went once again for the Psy Infusion, the same thing that they used yesterday. Very aggressive play that we are seeing here for Virtus.pro, and very successful play at that now as well, with 6 kills against 1, and much earlier level 7, and at the same time now also the first Web Weaver wave.
Yeah, we don't see, looks like they are ready to go again, but we don't see level 7 talent yet from Jane. There it is. It was going to be Frostbitten just for that huge amount of extra damage for this incredible combo. And
no Illidan, no Tacita, no melee assassin. There's no real reason to go into Frost Armor, so in this case we see Frostbitten.
Leo. He's going to... Oh no, makes behind the wall thanks to the speed from his pixie dust there. So is able to escape. And
Dilendi here has to be careful up at the top lane, as you already mentioned. The attempted gank against Brightwing not successful. It's the Web Weaver wave that is pushing in now. An entire level lead. The talent finally available to Gamers2, with them going straight into the unstable poison. Once again jumping away. Extra sustain with a ferocious healing for Sonya now. And Muradin, by the way, went on level 1 into block. We haven't even mentioned that yet, but it's of course a talent that you don't see too often. Normally it's either Reverberation or the full hammer build, so in this case it is an adjustment to try and keep the dwarf alive a bit longer.
Yeah, just any kind of extra tankiness for Yuva here will help out, even though the only person who's really focused on auto attacks is going to be the Taronda.
Oh, the owl missing. Wouldn't have taken down Leo anyways, but yeah, he's under a lot of pressure here at the top. Look at that experience lead. It is amazing, but maybe they can do something about this with a kill against Toronto. They're going to get that though. Diablo moves in. And Leo is once again a bit low, jumped in with a phase shift. Tetcher needs to be careful, so does Anilendi. The Stormbolt hits, but look at Muradin Juve. Oh no, he dies. Wow, what a stun by Tyrande.
Incredible peeling by BKB there with that Diablo, peeling away from his team to make sure that the Tyrande didn't die. And like you said, the ending stun there, able to pick out Muradin, who just wanted a kill. Unfortunately, he ended up being the kill.
Very nice attack here up at the top, but BKB already hit by the Gravity Lab, so Bashik making sure that this time there's no kill available for Virtus.pro. But look at that experience! Here comes another attempt to take down Kalthus, and this one's going to be successful. They are close to level 10. They are destroying Gamers 2 here. Level 10 versus level 8. The heroic abilities are in play. Sanctification, the Force Wall, the Lightning Breath, and not even Shadow Stalk for Tyrande. She's just basically saying, why would I go into healing talents? We are crushing these boys. Let's go for aggression. Let's push them back. Let's add more AoE to the equation.
Yeah, the Water Elemental for the extra damage and chase potential here for Tetcher. Last time we did go Ring of Frost, didn't catch too many people, but with the Starfall, Lightning Breath, Force Wall combo, they still have the majority of their combo from last game.
So much slow, so much aggression, and there they are again. The blue Web Weavers are released, and this one at the bot lane is not going to have a fun time. Is being burst down immediately, attacked right away. At the top lane, we have Tetcher starting to take down the hit points on the Web Weaver, and in the mid lane, BKB is quite busy now as well. And without level 10, Gamers 2 can't really do anything to keep these guys alive or push in. It's really a bad spot for them to be.
Yeah, and BKB, despite roaming around the maps for most of the time, knew that he's able to take down this Web Weaver pretty effectively thanks to that Fire Devil talent. He's able to just spam his Fire Stomp and then just stand on the Web Weaver and can actually hold that lane pretty effectively while the rest of the team groups up.
Virtus.pro, they can turn in again if they want to, and they have that level 10 advantage. They can use that level 10 talent to go in and take down another fort. They need to turn in, though, if they want to do that while their opponent is still not able to rely on their heroic ability. But Gamers 2 is very close, and Muradin at the top lane is trying to get additional experience, and he will be able to make that happen. But there comes the Rep Weaver wave. Juve moving away. Tetcher with the Water Elemental slowing him down even more already. Brightwing starting to jump in. There is no fort up at the top to help out. BKB moves in, and there comes the attempt to take down Brightwing, but just in the last second, the heroic ability hits in the blink heal is being used here. They are jumping in once more, and both of them still alive. Very well done here, dodging the power of Virtus.pro.
Superb jobs there. Great dwarf tosses all around and some very nice blink heals from Brightwing, but here they come onto Muradin again. He pops Avatar to try and tank through this and jumps to freedom again. And Gamers too. Now that they have their heroics as well, are starting to fare a little bit better, starting to be able to get out of these situations.
And Nika is at the bot lane, busy the entire time taking down the Web Weavers, also crushing through the wall. Virtus.pro, they are still ahead in experience, but they need to make sure that they really capitalize on these level advantages that they have, and they're trying to do that in the mid lane now. They jump in with BKB again, the stun combo hits hard and goes straight for Sonya. The kill is there, 9 kills against 1, and it is also going to be another fort that they can eliminate.
Even with the amazingly timed polymorph, just as that Lightning Breath was about to start, the damage was still too much from Virtus.pro. And it was easy enough to take down Sonya, but a valiant effort from Brightwing. They said Web Weaver in the mid lane, the short amount of it left is going to go down, but they still were able to get a tower and now still have full map control.
And they use that map control to move to the bot lane and attempt to go for the next and last remaining fort on the side of Gamers 2. They have an extra talent now too. And of course it is again Huntress Fury. If you go for the damage build on Tyrande, then you will use well, at least Virtus.pro uses Huntress Fury. They love this build. They don't go for the additional heal talent that they can of course get here. But it's all about the damage, the aggression, the control of the team fights, and the quick bursts against single targets. And that's where Huntress Fury of course absolutely excels.
Yeah, and we also have Tastar going with a Shrink Ray here, just in case. Like, Gamers are in a situation where we're the ones going the aggression, but they are still aware they're against a Sonya. So if Sonya gets into their backline, she could pick someone off. So the Shrink Ray here used as great protection from that.
Yeah, at this point, the boss is being attacked, and it looks like, at least for now, Gamers 2 is none the wiser. Anilendi down here at the bot is waiting a little bit longer. The boss is nearly gone. Juve sees it, can't do anything about it. He's already slowed, and keep that Huntress Fury talent in mind. Oh, the Force Wall! He already has his jump out, and he gets stunned, and goodbye Muradin once again. The damage output on the side of Unstable is absolutely insane at this point, especially, of course, with Jaina also adding even more AoE damage to the single target power of Tyrande.
Yeah, amazing job there by Virtus Pro. Right now, only Sevka staying up with this boss. Rest of the team splitting up, making sure they keep their XP lead. 14-12 right now. BKB and Unstable in that bottom lane. Tassadar and Tyrael in the mid lane. Sevka coming down to join them.
At this point, Gamers2 is just saying, okay, boys, listen up. We need to stay safe here. We need to just try and soak experience. We are losing on all fronts right now. We need to wait until we are on even talents with our opponent and then win a team fight. Hit that so important silence with Sylvanas, and if we do that, we can follow that up with the damage. We have what we need. We need level 13 for Khaldor's first. We will hit that any second right now. Then we have the chain bombs, get the Phoenix in the chain bombs, get the silence, win a team fight, and one good team fight could bring us back into this game.
Right now, level 13 is available for the side of Gamers2, and this is, like you said, their chance to maybe try and make an engage. Still 2 levels behind, but it is their best chance. Chain bomb, spell shields, the shield dust on the Brightwing, the mystical spear on the Sonya here. Basically her only escape mechanism in this situation, and the evasive fire on Sylvanas.
They need to try to turn in now. They have 60 gems. They can turn in. They can get the Web Weaver wave. They have even talents with their opponents. This is the best chance for them to try and get some map control. Gela and the rest of Virtus Pro, they know that already. They move in and try to deny that turn. And here comes once again a snipe attempt. This time again, Sonya. Shiku in a bit of trouble. Here comes the Lightning Breath. Already using a lot of damage dished out here by Diablo, but not enough to drop a target. And in the mid lane, we already have Juve straight in the middle of the team, trying to do as much as he can on his Mirrodin, but again he dies. Mirrodin is down. The stun against Khaldor annihilates him. 2 heroes down, and that attempt by Gamers2 to get back into the game already denied by their opponents.
Yeah, they made a very good engage there. BKB, his damage completely negated by that phase shield from the Brightwing, but the rest of the team were able to stay alive in the sanctification. BKB backed up, and then they were able to turn around onto that Mirrodin, and just incredible force walls all around. Incredible
performance here by on Tomb of the Spider Queen by Virtus Pro. They use the build that they have already used yesterday, and it works beautiful. We have them now also with, again, the Holy Ground. There's even that Stone Skin on the side, or not Stone Skin, actually the continuous overpower here for the double charge. Pretty similar icon here in this case for the level 60 summon.
I don't think we saw this far in the talent trees from the last game, so this is all new.
Yeah, the last game was over at level at 11 minutes into the game, if I remember that correctly. Yeah. Right now, the game lasts a bit longer, but the power that they are showcasing here on this map is absolutely incredible. I mean, 12 kills against 1. That basically tells the story.
Yeah, continuous overpower plus the cooldown reduction from that battle momentum can just turn Diablo into one of the most annoying heroes if you leave him unchecked for too long. And Virtus Pro looking to try and capitalize on that right now, moving into the mid lane to take advantage of their talent advantage and take down some more towers while they wait for their Web Weavers.
The Web Weavers are going to push so hard right now. A 3-level lead. The Web Weavers and the extra talent. Gamers2 will have a tough time holding on to these keeps now. They will definitely lose one. The only question is, are they going to lose more than that?
Mid lane is the one that is being focused on by Virtus Pro. Their bottom lane Web Weaver pretty far back. The top one, though, is going to begin making its way onto that last remaining tower. Stun lands on Tassadar. Tassadar in a bit of a tough situation, but Shihu completely trapped. Lightning Breath trying to finish him off, but he just gets out. Sanctification drops on Diablo to keep him alive as well, and no one dies.
Wow. Yeah, nobody dies, but that keep is down to Alpha. Bashek in trouble, and Diablo comes in again. They don't even need the stun on Tyrande. They just take him down regardless. Shihu eats the second strike on the Blizzard, and he dies too. It's a 5 versus 3 once again. Sevka somehow stays alive on Jaina. The keep is gone. Andy Landy and the rest of Virtus Pro, they move down to the bot lane where the Web Weaver already went straight through the wall, and only the keep remains. Level 18 hitting soon. Here comes another attempt to drop a target, and goodbye, Nika. It's Sylvanas who dies next.
BKB is nailing this Diablo play so well. Every single time, no matter who it is, they are just out of the fight the second he gets the engage on them. They get tackled, stunned, overpowered, stunned, into the stun of Tyrande, and then another overpower is available for when he moves back to peel for his team.
BKB and Unstable with absolutely beautiful combos here. I don't think they missed a single combo with Diablo Tyrande here just yet. It was stun into stun the entire time, and then of course always that damage thanks to Sevka. And especially with that Tyrande build that they have, the single target damage is quite nice to add that to the entire build. Tyrande is actually at this point the hero with the most hero damage on the side of Virtus Pro, and also has another 25,000 heals at the same time.
She's keeping up pretty nicely. Virtus Pro just rocking this game right now. and they're moving down to the bottom lane, taking the easy camp, as it's pretty much all that's left except for the boss, and with everyone alive on Gamers 2 and the talent literally just evening up, it was much safer to go for the easy camp. And now they can go back to their old style of trying to pick someone out so that they have an opportunity for that boss.
Level 16 hits for Gamers 2, and they are taking a risk at the boss here, but they have to do something. They are getting spanked right now, and they are trying to turn that around, but they are in the throw pit, and here comes Virtus Pro, and they are going straight for Sonya once again. They are out for blood. They're sharks smelling blood in the water, and they get the first kill. They get the second one. It's a 5 versus 3, and Gamers 2 is once again on the run.
Another incredible force wall into Lightning Breath, picking off Bashek and trapping Sonya away from her team, allowing her to go down as well. Virtus Pro will move into the boss pit. Gamers 2 will move back to their base to try and defend here. There are still some Siege Giants which they can clear up, but it's going to be 5 versus 3 for a little bit, but the rest of the heroes will respawn quite soon with a boss in this top lane.
Absolute incredible play here. Really well done. A 3-level lead. I mean, they're so close to level 20 now. They have the boss at the top lane. It's the only lane where we still see a keep available to Gamers 2, and it is going to fall within seconds since it's already extremely low. This could well conclude the end of this game. We have not enough, not enough gems just yet to turn it. But once again, this is the first combo that I've seen them actually miss in this game. Nika is getting out alive because of it, but there's still that boss to consider, and Virtus Pro, they have level 20. They are going to try and end things here.
Yeah, Nika's a very lucky man. In comes the combo onto Shihu. He's not as lucky. He's able to stay alive just though. There's Frank Sanctification forcing Shihu to back away. The upgraded Lightning Breath, not enough to take down Shihu, but it's now on the core. So much damage. Shihu goes down, and they're just going to focus the core. Down goes the Brightwing as well, and this is looking like the end. GG, and Virtus Pro evens up the series.
Crazy game. It's a 1-1, and we are going to see the third map between these two teams coming up in just a few. Starting to the left side of Shire, our last and final map here between Gamers 2 and Virtus Pro. We have the Polish team with Leo from Poland on a Brightwing. We have Kelthas, played by Bashek, Shihu on Muradin. Uwe for the double warrior setup has chosen Johanna, and Nika is playing on Vala. To the right side of the map, we're seeing Virtus Pro once again with Sefkaja on Falstad, Unstable playing Uther, Andilendi on Jaina, BKB on Tyrell, and Gela is playing Sonya.
And whoever wins this match is the difference between a potential $8,000 and a potential 1,500. And the difference between, even if they win this and lose their next match, is still going to be double what they would earn if they lose this match and win the next one.
At this point, also, a few questions have been answered since we see the first talents in the game. We have Vala heading straight into a multi-shot build here, not using the arrow build, which is actually quite common on a map like Shire. More AoE for them. And here comes the aggression in the mid lane already, with both teams committing all their heroes to a short brawl here, where Shiko and everybody else is getting away right now. It's a rotation between the mid lane and the bot lane, apparently, that we're seeing from Gamers 2. Very popular amongst the pro teams.
Falstad, yet to pick his level 1 talent, finally picks up the power throw. Very interesting, because if he'd picked this, he's a marksman, he would have had to have picked it earlier. So just hiding it for a bit, but then again, power throw is really the only other talent we see on that level, so not picking it was a bit weird.
Wow, Gela taking out already. Very aggressive move here on the side of Gamers 2. They see an opportunity and they jump on it, get the first kill in the game. Doesn't really give Gamers 2 too much of a lead just yet, since there were still heroes on the lane to pick up the experience dropped by the minions, but still, that was already a good start for them, of course. Sefkaja up at the top. It's a bit of a tough time against Chihu's Muradin, who's already waiting in the bush here, and tries to drop that Stormbolt. Not quite yet.
Yeah, Sefka was actually able to out-duel Muradin a couple seconds ago, but it is obviously Muradin, so he's able to heal up thanks to his trait a bit quicker. Falstad's able to.
Yeah, and Muradin is taking good use of that trade already. At the bot lane, we had a bit of a push against Unstable on his Uther. BKB is moving in to help him out. It's still 4 players for Gamers 2, thanks to that mid lane, bot lane rotation that we've been talking about earlier.
BKB diving in very deep, trying to get the wraparound onto Nika here. But taking a lot of damage in exchange. Gets knocked up and taken out. And Juve getting a bit of a stun onto the retreating members of Virtus Pro, but both shrines currently in favor of Gamers 2. Nika in the mid lane trying to get it. Gela coming up to deny, and just her presence there will be enough to scare away Nika.
Nika moving back because he realized that he wouldn't be able to get that through in time. So for now, they give up the potential Dragon Knight. They have the level 4 a bit faster. They can't really capitalize on this yet, but we have at the top lane now Falstad also taking another shrine, or at least trying to. Gela is starting to help out, but we have Nika and Juve moving in now as well. In the mid lane, it's only BKB on his Turiel trying to prevent the Dragon Knight, but the bot lane with 2 heroes against 1 is now taken by the red team.
Brightwing going with the Manic Pixie, but what is more interesting is Johanna has taken Raw, increasing the damage on Punish by 50%, so a little bit of damage on Johanna this time.
Yeah, not something that you see too often, but Raw is going to help her to get a few more numbers out there now at the front. We have also a lead for Gamers 2 in experience, and Leo, you can really tell that Gamers 2 is currently in the position where they are desperately trying to get that Dragon Knight. They're just moving in, attempting to capitalize on that slight advantage that they now have, and always putting pressure onto Virtus Pro. But it is the Russian team who claims the shrine up at the top. They have control over 2 now, but it is still 1 against 1 in the mid lane, and therefore BKB doesn't really have a chance just yet to move in and grab that statue.
Gela also outnumbered in the top lane, is driven back, and as such the shrine goes over to Gamers 2, denying any kind of dragon being taken by either team for the moment. Both teams just dancing around each other, looking for an opportunity to try and engage Gela once again, taking back that top shrine. Leo poking around this bottom one to see if he can grab it back for a nice trade, but with Sevka and Unstable there, Leo will not be able to take this. Tyrell, though, even if he heads up to that mid area, Johanna is there to deny this.
Oh, nice stun against Nika. He gets away, but the Blizzard drops him. Well played here. Bashek using that Gravity Lapse a bit too late against Andilendi. And now maybe a chance to grab the Dragon Knight. Gela at the top lane is doing a pretty good job against Chihu, keeping that shrine active for the Russian team. And it's Andilendi starting to move in here. Brightwing helps out Johanna. And they are, at least for now, able to make sure that Virtus Pro is not getting that Dragon Knight just yet. It falls that dying at the bot lane.
Perfect timing for that kill by Virtus Pro earlier on, just as their opponents hit level 7, so they were able to at least deny any kind of move being made by Gamers 2, but Gamers 2 picking up Falsa down there has managed to re-secure their lead a little bit here, and now they can begin making moves. They have the top shrine. They almost had the bottom one, but BKB just in time to deny that away.
Yeah, the secret weapon picked up by Falstad. Now we have a cleanse on Uther. No cleanse on the side of their opponents, though. It's that face shield talent that is so popular on Brightwing right now for very good reason. Having those shields in the fights is absolutely amazing. Once again, we're seeing them moving in here. Johanna went for Sins Exposed, and Falstad falling as up to the top lane. Shihu and Gela are fighting, but in the mid lane, that's where we have a 4 versus 3, and Virtus Pro is outnumbered.
Yeah, they're just pulling back here. Not enough crowd control to really lock any of them down, but easy enough to make them pull back. However, Gela was thinking about sneaking that shrine, but has to back up as she realizes that, well, there's a lot of people roaming up from the mid lane, and she will die if she stays there, so she just gives it up, lets that shrine go back over. But now, bit of a scuffle in the bot lane. Bashek coming in on to Jada, and Jada Living Bomb, no, is able to get out.
Kel'Thas is not, though, and they're going for Brightwing next. Oh, Juve's body blocked, and Johanna is not getting out of this one, is she? Nika already moves in. Brightwing jumps for the face shield, and he gets that in. Very well played here by Leo. He exposed himself to a bit more damage, but they are both able to get away, and it's still a slight lead in experience for Gamers 2. Jaina, on the other hand, moving into the mid lane, trying to get the Dragon Knight statue, but Juve and Nika with a rotation are trying to prevent this, and they are taking both position in the mid lane to make sure that nobody sneaks that in.
Yeah, like you said, incredibly solid move by Leo there with the perfect teleport timing, and now we're seeing Gamers 2 moving up to that top area. They think they can fight Gela here. She is outnumbered. Nika trying to micro back away from this Sonya. Nice vault to get behind her and force Gela to back away from the shrine. There's the Strife, gets the finishing kill there. Not going to be enough for a Dragon Knight on either team. Bot Shrine did just go over to Virtus Pro, but Brightwing making her way up to the top lane, making sure that Nika is not picked off there.
That heroic ability hit just in time. You could really tell that even before that, Gela was trying to go in with a whirlwind to get a bit more health back, but she didn't really connect in time to make that work. And then Strafe hits for Vala. Immediately the reaction. Vala using Strafe, securing that kill. Now it's 10 versus 10, but still it has shifted a bit. We have an entire level lead on the side of Gamers 2. They are a bit ahead, and they're also now the ones who are again in control of the shrine at the top lane, and they're trying to get the one at the bot lane. We are 7 minutes in, and we still have not seen a Dragon Knight.
We do have a seed to level 10s available for Virtus Pro. Gela pushing back Shikul here from that top shrine. Now both shrines in favor of Virtus Pro, and Falstad, he has the Mighty Gust. Uther has the Divine Shield. There's definitely a chance here for a very cheeky Dragonite to be taken here. Sevka gets a bit of scouting onto Nika. BKB from the other side. They're going to chase Nika back here, but a polymorph onto Falstad prevents any kind of Mighty Gust play. There's the Mighty Gust, and Andy Lendy will get the Dragonite here.
Andy Lendy secures the Dragonite. Uther at the bot lane secured that shrine long enough against Juve to allow the Dragonite for the team, and now Virtus Pro is starting to move in. They were known as one of the teams that was the most successful on Dragonshire in general, and they had such aggressive strategies on this map that they secured very early Dragonites against their opponents and started to snowball. In this case, they are fighting against a very, very strong opponent, though, and Gamers2 has been able to deny that Dragonite for more than 7 minutes. Well played here by Virtus Pro, but it is still an experience lead for Gamers2.
Yeah, it's going to be all about how many buildings this Dragonite can get. Shihu even denying the kick away there with a nice Stormbolt from Andy Lendy. So Andy Lendy can't even get near to these towers in the top lane. So it's up to the bot lane, tri-lane here, now a quad lane, to take down the towers. It's only Brightwing defending, so it's very likely they'll get it. We do see everyone else roaming down there, and Juve coming in from behind.
Brightwing was asking for friends, but she didn't ask for this many. Now we have a 4 versus 4 though, and this is also the time when again Virtus Pro decides to move back. The Dragonite at the top lane was occupying most of the team. Shiku actually really aggressive. The Water Elemental already committed at the same time though, and that means that Shiku might be in a bit of trouble here. He doesn't have the Dwarf Toss anymore.
2 seconds, and Brightwing Teleport does secure him. That Water Elemental will go down, but a very nice turnaround from Andy Lendy.
With Brightwing jumping to the top, that also meant that we had Virtus Pro with 4 versus 3 at the bot lane, and therefore, without any trouble whatsoever, they could secure the Siege Giant camp, and they can even try to steal this one away. Leo now moved back down, so it's again a 4 versus 4, but that was a very interesting turn of events here that really helped the bot lane when Brightwing was forced to move to the top to help out Muradin.
Yeah, Virtus Pro were thinking about contesting there, but decide better of it. They do back up. They have an XP lead for one of the first times here. Giant Killer for that Falstad. Improved Ice Block for Jaina. Shrink Ray on that Uther to try and deal with, I guess any of the warriors charging forward here. An imposing will on the Tyrael.
Yeah, Shiku might be in a bit of trouble there. Yeah, not eating the damage, jumping away just in time, but now that exposes also the turret, and this is additional experience that Virtus Pro picks up. They're starting to move in. The same is also true at the bot lane, where we're seeing the exact same move from their opponents. The Mighty Gust buying a bit more time, but for how long? We have the 13 talents now for both of the teams in play. At the top lane, the fort is nearly destroyed, and thanks to the Mighty Gust, it is actually Gamers2 that is pushing a bit slower. So we are seeing a rotation happening on the side of Virtus Pro, securing themselves another Bruiser camp, but it looks like Gamers2 is just saying, like, you know what, we're going to go for keep.
Yeah, and with Muradin back at base for Gamers2, they're going to be able to hold this lane for a bit. Virtus Pro reacting by going B. But Gamers2 already on top of this. They're just backing away from this. They're going to probably get that Bruiser camp in the bot lane. Brightwing teleporting to the top lane to help out Shiku in taking down this push lane. So Gamers2 with great rotations here.
Yeah, the rotation we have that happening again with Juve and Nika also like moving through the map. Andy Lendy is still there. But I'm really liking the control now once again for Virtus Pro. They are already in position at both of the shrines, and they might be able to sneak this one. They could even... Oh, there it is! They sneak it in just in time! For some reason, Gamers2 focusing more on Jaina and Falstad than actually securing that Dragonite. I don't think they actually saw the hero.
Yeah, they noticed indeed. So very interesting there. We did see Andy Lendy with a great Ice Block to block out the strafe from Valor, but that Dragonite getting the front wall of this mid lane and can now begin, if they want, to push in to the fort. They have everyone there, but no, the rest of the team rotating down to the bot lane. A couple hovering around in this mid jungle area to see if they can catch someone out.
Yeah, they're trying to catch one of the heroes, maybe Leo, but they can't really go for him just yet. At the bot lane, there's still a fort that they could attack, and they're trying to do this. Despite all these Dragon Knights that we've seen on the side of Virtus Pro and the moves just recently, we have still a lead in experience for the Polish team. Gamers2 is going to be the first team to hit level 16. If it continues this way, the Dragon Knight is trying to get some damage in, but Gela can't really do too much with Shiku always trying to counterplay.
Yeah, she's been doing a great job with this countering the Dragon Knight. Rest of the team coming back in, and Dragon Knight does get killed off here. So once again, not too much damage. They take out the front wall of the mid lane, and the bot lane is now under some serious duress, but really not as good of a use of a Dragonite as they would have really liked.
Dragonites, of course, scale over time, so this early in the game, it's not really the biggest issue to deal with him. But right now, we have that level of talent advantage for Gamers 2, and that's a much bigger deal. So we have now 16 versus 16, since Virtus.pro just secured that own talent. From here on out, I feel the Dragonites are going to be much more important, since the scaling is going to affect it a lot. But over here, the kill against Jaina. Ice block not saving her for long enough. Even that mighty gust attempt by Sevka did not help to save the hero.
Yeah, interesting attempt there, but Jaina getting caught out of position. Sevka going to be hit by that chain bomb, not spreading it to anything. Very nice there. And Virtus.pro on the back foot here. Sonya beginning to make her way up to try and help defend this, but when they're down Jaina, they do not have a huge amount of AoE damage. Kayla waiting over the wall to try and look for an engagement opportunity, but Tyrael getting focused down here.
Oh, Tyrael needs to be careful using Sanctification too, but has to move back here. Sanctification in this case didn't really help him too much, but he wanted to make sure that he doesn't die here. If he falls as well, then they find themselves in this vicious circle where you're always down one hero and can't really engage your opponent. It's still 16 versus 17. The lead for Gamers 2 is definitely a thing, but still, it's even talents. So right now, Virtus.pro can still win these fights. 6 kills against 2. And Gamers 2, they're doing really well here, despite the fact that they haven't secured a single Dragonite yet.
Yeah, Gamers 2 are keeping ahead in XP, etc. But if Virtus.pro can grab a Dragonite, especially if it's after 20 minutes, for example, and get a good opportunity to get a push, doesn't matter if they're behind levels, they can win if they get a nice, strong DK and push very effectively with it.
Yeah, in the mid lane, we already see Juve starting to move in with the Condemn against BKB. Aldruin's Smite can still be used. There's already the Mighty Gust. Juve wasn't even affected since he used Iron Skin in time. Top Shrine claimed now by Gela. The Mercenary Camp is also pushing in the same lane. And at the bot lane, we have one Shrine captured by Gamers 2 to make sure that at least this time, Virtus.pro has to work for the Dragonite.
Yeah, and the Johanna on the side of Gamers 2 here, Juve, is just doing so much damage in general here, just due to the fact that he has that raw, like we said earlier, the 50% extra damage, and the Sins Exposed, which combos so well with that chain bomb from the Calphas and the multi-shot from Valor. They can just drop a lot of extra damage from that. And when she's in the fight, Burning Rage is helping too.
We have a switch in Shrines now. The bottom Shrine has been taken by Virtus.pro, whereas up to the top Gamers 2 claimed number 2. It was actually interesting to see Gela move straight into the middle, since they realized they would have a small window where they control both Shrines, but Gamers 2 denied that. It still allowed them with a rotation to take the fort at the bot lane, so that worked out for them. Whoa! From the back! He came from behind. Shihu moves in, but now Muradin might be in trouble. It looks like Virtus.pro has eaten too much damage already, though. Nice Sanctification, really well played here. Sevka gets out of it. I have no idea how that happened, but Shihu is already high on his heels and is taking Falstad out.
Great polymorph there onto Gala. Making sure she couldn't get all her damage off, and now she's in full retreat. There's the Whirlwind to try and keep herself alive. Unstable. Gets hit by the Stormbolt. Muradin, mini Muradin in this case, is still continues to chase. Sonya gets taken down, and now it is just Uther in danger. Can Shihu catch him up? The heals are nice. There's the stun from Unstable. He's now with BKB. There's the speed boost from Smite. And Unstable gets out of here, but this will be the first Dragonite of the game going over to Gamers 2.
And also level 20 in a few seconds. You just need a Breath of Fire or two and a few heroes dropping anything here, and it will be the Storm talents for them, and there they are. Great play by Gamers 2. Incredible, powerful fight that they had here. That flank from Muradin from behind, at first it didn't look like too much, but they were able to just put so much pressure on Falsa that he couldn't put the damage in, was trying to escape, everybody focusing on keeping him alive, and now Gamers 2, after a very solid performance here, is going for the core, and looks like they're gonna get it. Vala went into Nexus Frenzy. They're going for the damage challenge. They're trying to drop it, and they will do it.
And they're gonna take it down. Dragonite's still completely full health, and that is GG. Virtus.pro, despite the best efforts, got caught out in that fight, and Gamers 2 will move on to the finals to play against Team Fnatic.
Game over, and GG, it is Virtus.pro that loses the best of 3 series here at the WCA Qualifier for Europe. Gamers 2 advances to the finals, where they are going to meet Fnatic, and Virtus.pro still has a chance to win some prize money. They have to go up against Poet Crew in the third place decider. Pretty awesome series if you ask me. I had a lot of fun casting it. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and if you enjoyed watching it, then make sure that you give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. Also keep in mind that the settings in-game were a little bit different. Every now and then somebody notices it in the comments and says like, Khaldor, somehow the audio is a bit weird. It's not like the usual setup or the video as well. The reason is actually plain simple. It was not recorded in my own studio, but we traveled to Berlin, Tetcher and myself, and we actually recorded everything there. WCA allowed me to use the recordings and upload them to YouTube channel, which is pretty damn awesome. So thanks and big shout out to WCA. So that's why the setup is a bit different than what I usually run. For the videos that I run in the future, again, in the tournaments that are being recorded right here in the studio, the quality is going to be exactly the same as before, so don't worry about that. All right, thank you very much for tuning in today. Hope you guys had a great time, and if you did, also make sure that you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel if you haven't done that yet, and I'll see you guys next time with the next video here, the final. Well, actually, I don't know what we're going to cast first, the third place decider or the final, but you can be guaranteed that there's going to be a lot of content on the channel. Have a great weekend, and see you guys soon. Bye-bye.